Hi everybody, it's Chris Byberg, the Director of the National House of Prayer, coming to you today from Ottawa. Well, here we are in those hazy, lazy, crazy days of summer, right in the middle of summer. I hope you're having a wonderful summertime. We are. We've had a wonderful little sabbatical, and now we're back in the saddle again, and it's so good to be back doing what the Lord has called us to do. There's something that's happening in your riding right now that is of the utmost importance, and many of us don't even know it's happening. If you've been tracking with the American political scene, like me, I do like to track a little bit with the stuff down in the States, you would have noticed they have a new presidential candidate on the Democrat side. Have you noticed that? A new VP was also chosen, so Kamala and Harrison Waltz have been put together. And the interesting thing about this is they were never really voted for by the Democrats. Isn't that interesting? Those constituents really never voted for them. Just kind of weird, isn't it? They're using the word weird a lot right now, and that's weird. So anyway, I want to talk about what's going on in your riding right now, and it's probably the most important thing that's happening, and a lot of people aren't even aware of it. And that's the selection of candidates for the upcoming federal election, which is scheduled for October of 2025. We may get there earlier, but who knows, right? I'm not going to make any predictions. Excuse me, I got something that just blew into my eye. Anyway, this selection is taking place right now. In fact, I have two friends that are currently vying for the candidacy for one of the parties. Both of them are believers. This is a really, really exciting thing. One is in Ontario, one is out in BC. Really, really important time, and that we need to be in prayer for this. You know, too often we wait till when the writ is dropped and the election is called before we engage in praying for the outcome. But that time is now. When they are selecting candidates is now. You know, it's wonderful, these two candidate friends of mine, they're believers, but not only are they believers, they are people that know how to get things done. This is what's good. So you need to be looking for candidates that are righteous, that love the truth, that stand for family, stand for Israel, and Canada, and love Canada. If they're believers, that's even a bonus. But they need to be able to have the ability to get things done. And so we need to be praying for them right now that they get in. And you need to be engaging. So how do you engage? How do you know? If you don't track, you don't know. So pick a team. I'm not saying promote one team or the other. You know, I have a favorite team. I'm pretty committed to that team. I like that team, and I like what they stand for. But God has called us into many places, and I realize that. And so we need to be watching and praying for those leaders that are emerging right now, and sometimes we need to pray them over the finish line. And because especially if they're standing for righteousness, they're standing for goodness, the enemy's going to do everything he can to keep those people out of there. So they need to have the prayer support. So you need to find out who these people are. If you don't know, then you got to check. So contact your a liberal EDA, your conservative EDA, Electoral District Association. Those are the people that are connected with getting that candidate elected. Right now, the candidate selection, there might be 2, 3. Some people are acclaimed sometime, but many times there'll be many, many people running to become the candidate before they, even before the election. So this is why we need to be praying. And this is why we need to be engaging. And this is why we get to be choosing. So this is important. So if you have the ability to choose the next leader in your riding, in your constituency, you should be one of those people. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. And if you don't say nothing, or say anything, if you don't say anything, you're not saying so. So So you can be a part of this process, and I want to encourage you to be engaging. Find out who these candidates are. If they're lining up with righteousness, if they're lining up with family values, if they're lining up with the purposes of God, and you could see this, and pro-life issues, and if they're lining up with this, you should support them. And so find out who they are. Be praying with them. If you have a chance to vote for them, vote for them. If you can help them financially, help them financially. These are all things that get there, because like I said, I have 2 friends, really godly women that know how to get things done. And I'm praying for them. I'm praying that they do. And in fact, the one in Ontario, I'm going to be helping them, you know, as time comes on. I've worked with them in the past. So there are others, so be aware. Look what's going on in your riding. Find out who the candidates are. If the candidate isn't selected, you could be a part of that process of selecting them. And so I want to encourage you to be a part of the process. Don't wait for the writ to drop in September of 2025 before you engage. We engage now. We're watchmen, and watchmen are those that are looking at the horizon, over the horizon, for what's coming our way. We're not very good watchmen if the enemy's standing at their gate and banging at the door, right? We've been watching them for things to come over the horizon. So anyway, I'm Chris Byberg, the director of the National House of Prayer. We will see you next time. Bye for now.